everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Alright, so today I decided it's time to work on the two cards that are journaling cards that are going to go into those pockets. And we're going to do ourselves a little bit of a collage today. So, just got all the papers that are cut-offs of everything that we've done so far. And, decided to go ahead and start with this little strip of the suitcases, since I keep coming onto them and I never quite know what to do with that one. So I ripped it in half and we're gonna use it on these journaling cards. Actually, I really love the color of them, and they were a great base to start from for this collage. So really not a whole lot to say on this, so I think probably what I'll do is stop talking for a little bit and just go ahead and let you watch the collage happen. So here I'm kind of struggling with what to do in this last little square. I thought what I wanted there was more of the dark, so I don't know why I'm kind of fussing around with this, but thought I'd try and rip off the side to make it less square, but then that didn't really work either, no matter which direction I position it. So then I rip off some more and try that, and it still doesn't really look right to me. So trying in a different direction still isn't right. I think it's just focusing on too small of an area. It's a big picture focusing on too small of an area. So I scrapped that piece and went for the other half of it, which was mostly just the black. And actually I liked that right away, so kind of wished I would have seen that right away, but you know what? It was fun to watch, I guess, or maybe not. So just about done here with the collage. Just gotta finish this little piece up. And nope, not almost done. I've got one other thing. Well, this is the background. There will be more added to it because so far it's interesting but not a focal point. So decided to go ahead and add some washi because I don't know how well you can see it, but the green piece of paper, the left side of it, has a straight edge. So I just wanted to hide that and cover it up a little bit. And what better way to do that than with a piece of washi tape? So we've got that done. And now I'm looking for another piece of washi because just one washi by itself in the middle of a collage is a little bit weird. So I still had this other piece of washi from earlier and decided to go ahead and use that. So again, just ripping off the sides because I didn't want a straight edge if I could help it. Now I'm realizing I covered up one straight edge of paper with a piece of washi tape that has two straight edges and it's longer. So I don't know. I guess I thought I solved the problem, but actually I think it looks pretty cool. So washi gets a pass, right? Okay, so I think I'm done with the base part of these, so I'm just going to put my papers away now and I think move on to the back sides of them. Don't need anything super fantastic on the back side because we're going to have all of our collaging on the front side. So I decided to go ahead and use this peeling paint piece of paper. So here I just sped this up because it's pretty basic. All I'm doing is marking off the measurements so that I can take my paper trimmer and cut these out. Kind of wish I would have used pen. It was hard to see. It was hard to see the pencil, but turned out okay. So just gonna quickly cut this out here. Alright, so I've glued the first one down and this is now the second back. So just gonna glue this one down and just double checking to make sure I have it right side up. Probably doesn't really matter, but and the back side was just a little bit too big on both of those, so I ended up having to trim off a little bit of extra. And now we get to ink around the edges. Also super fast motion. Look away if you get motion sick. I'm sorry about that. But just did the front and the back on both of those. Alright, so now for the real fun stuff. I decided I had this scrap sheet of the graph paper, and I had all these really cool light stamps, or sketchy lighting stamps. So I figured, why not go ahead and stamp all these out on this graph paper, and then I can have them for ephemera for whenever I want to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will speed this up in just a minute, but just going to do this first one, and then we'll speed it up, and then you'll get to see the end result afterwards. It's kind of fun to watch and fast forward, actually. This is a stamp I found on AliExpress again. If I can find my order and the seller is still selling this, I will put it in the description box. But I do think I show you the name of it before this is all over here. It's very industrial. Okay, so here's how it ended up. I really love these. I know I'm going to use them. This is something I wish I would do more of. Just take some time every once in a while, take some scratch paper, take some stamps, and just stamp a bunch of images and put them in my ephemera book, because I'll tell you what, I've been using that ephemera book a whole lot and using up things that I've had for a long time but never remembered I even had before, because they were always hidden somewhere. So yeah, so that's a fun little just rainy day kind of project. If you're feeling a little creatively challenged, do that kind of stuff, because I'll tell you what, when you're not creatively challenged, it's so much more fun when you can just grab everything you need and you don't have to constantly stop and figure out or just make stuff that you want to put in your journals. So, okay, so here you see I just ripped them all out, and so they're their own little images now, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I want to use in the collage on this one. And I chose this one. It's kind of like a pipe system with the light bulb coming down on the left side, and then I think it says industry. So I decided that just needs to become the focal point, and now I'm just looking for something to add as just some extra. So went to these tickets again. Like I said, so I've had these tickets for a long time. Do you think I ever use them? No, but I've been using them like crazy because they're so awesome now that they're in my ephemera book, and they're the first page. So if you have ephemera like this, like the stickers that come in the little packs, I cannot suggest more how much I love this ephemera book, and it's only halfway full. I want to do a bunch of fussy cutting of like things from vintage books that I've got. Like I've got some botanical books I want to do some fussy cutting with and stick them in here and that kind of stuff. So that way they'll be ready and waiting for me when I'm ready to use them. So okay, yet again, kind of looking through to see what kind of a tag I want to add. I always get hung up on this page, but then I never end up using anything. So looked at this one, it says typewriter, thinking maybe for that other card. But then in the end, I just decided it wasn't quite right, so moved on. I did like the color of this one, but also wasn't quite the right style. I haven't gotten my tweezers yet. I need to get a get some tweezers. So that's a cool little sticker, but it was a car, and this journal is all about typography and letter writing and that kind of stuff, so it didn't really fit the theme. Oh, here we go again with those those two circle. I just can't give up on them. And my favorite page of labels, back to it. So I like this shape, and the size of it's pretty good, but I wanted just a little bit bigger. So going back and looking a little bit more, pick that one out again, but again, it wasn't quite the right color for what I was thinking. And then I found this one, and that one is kind of what I was looking for. It's kind of the right size. I don't want it to be too big, but not too small either. And I liked the blue border on that one. And then I noticed that one down there I liked for the other journaling card, so decided to go with those two. Yeah, so here you can see it's not even halfway full. I don't know if I could ever get this thing fully full. It's already a little bit gator mouth. So that's okay though. And time to ink around all the edges. I'll fast forward through this too. So I just really did distress that label. And then this paper was so thin, I used my glue paper to help me distress that one a little bit easier. And now for the fun part of figuring out where everything should go. I don't know why this always takes me so long. In the moment, I don't realize it. I think it's watching it back. I'm just like, why is this so... You don't have to think this hard. All right, moved it over there, and I like that. So now I'm just trying to figure out where to put this little stamp. I wanted to make sure I didn't cover up the 3 p.m., the big 3 on there. So I kind of like that, but then I didn't really feel like it needed to be behind the paper, so trying it on top, and I like how that looks. So I think that's our winning combination, and now it's time to glue things down. Using my scissors again to help me line this sticker up where I want it to be. It's a great tip if you don't have some tweezers handy. I always have my scissors handy. And there we have it. I will sew around the edges of both of these, but here's how it turned out. I love the grunginess of it. And now for the next one. So when I was stamping out these light bulbs, I thought, ooh, how cool would it be if I did like a collage of a couple of light bulbs together? So that's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm trying to think of a good way to represent them all in this one small little space. So ended up using 3 of the smaller ones. I wanted to use one of the longer ones, but it just didn't quite work out, so went with a few smaller ones instead. And I thought this one was just the right size to help round out the little trio here. So just kind of making that just a little bit smaller. Now just trying to decide where to put it. So I knew this was going to be my label, so I thought, well, let's put that down and see if that helps at all. And it did. Still wasn't looking right to me, though. That really is not what I was going after. I didn't want it to be a straight line, diagonal straight line down. So I'm going to just rearrange things here. And then I think I'll finally, nope, I'm going to try this instead. So I liked that one because it was horizontal. But the one on the left and the one on the right were just the same size almost. So I thought I needed something a little bit different in size. So we had 3 different sizes going on. And came back to the smaller light bulb, but this one with the little dots on the notebook paper or whatever, the graph paper. And I liked how that looked. So I think, yep, now we're gonna glue these down carefully. You guys probably didn't hear that, but I'm sitting in the living room and the picture window is right next to me, and a big fat bumblebee was trying to come into the living room and was flying up against the and bumping against the window. Okay, so went ahead and distressed that label. It was just a little bit too bright, and the other 3 were bright, so thought it would help to kind of grunge that up just a little bit. And carefully sticking this down, trying to keep it straight as possible. now just that one last piece, and I think I'll be done with this one, and then I just gotta sew around the edges. I like how it turned out, actually. This whole journal has been something a little outside my comfort zone. I'll be honest, I've caught myself more than once not trying, like wanting to lean on a frilly, or not frilly, but you know, girlier ephemera. And here you can see it's got a zigzag stitch around the outside, and I have to stop myself and say, no, that's not in fitting with this journal, so don't use that. But honestly, I'm loving how this thing is turning out, and I can't wait to see it all finished. So hope you're also enjoying it, and if you are, I'd love for you to subscribe. Leave me a comment, like my videos, all that good stuff. It helps for my videos to get shown to more people, and you know, just helps us growing our crafting community here on YouTube. So every little bit helps, right? So all right, guys, I think that's about it for me today. And oh, I need to do a little fix-it job here. So yeah, I think that's about it for me today, and I'll see you soon, and with our next journaling adventure. Bye.